fam, welcome back to the very first episode of Cooking with Lauren for 2019. I am just so excited to be back. We have not had a Cooking with Lauren episode since like November, and it feels so good to be in front of all these lights and give you guys another recipe. So I just wanted to throw out there that we have a new setup. Yes, Henry has been working so hard with trying to get us a better setup for 2019 to make sure our video quality improves. So I hope you guys see the difference. We have new lights, we have a new mic, and we have a new camera. So I hope that you guys are able to tell the difference throughout the video. I am just so appreciative to my husband for just working so hard on stuff like that, because it really makes a difference, especially for these cooking videos. So I hope you guys appreciate it as well. So moving right along, I just want to hop right into today's recipe. I love Chinese food. I love it. It's one of my favorite foods next to like Mexican food. So I thought that I had to open up, you know, Cooking with Lauren this year with this recipe. I actually found this recipe on YouTube myself, and I did a few tweaks, and I wanted to kind of put my spin on it, and it is vegetable lo mein. Yes, that is what we're making today. One thing I love about Cooking with Lauren is being able to teach you guys how to save money by making some of your favorite dishes that you would buy out in the streets right at home, and that's what we're going to do today. Vegetable lo mein is actually a really inexpensive dish. Most of these things you should probably already have in your pantry, and even if not, they're still really cost efficient. This meal was not expensive at all, so we're gonna go right ahead and hop right into this video. All right, so to get started with our lo mein noodles, the very first thing that we're gonna do is open up and cut our lo mein. So these are the lo mein noodles that I am using today. It's the brand called Twin Marquis. Now I found these at Wegmans in the frozen food section, and I think it's the Asian frozen food section if I'm not mistaken, but they're really cheap. They were only like $2. They were either like $2 or $3. So if you're having a hard time finding it, I know for a fact that Wegmans sells it. And like I said, they do come frozen, so you're going to need like a day for these to thaw out. I just put them on my countertop and left them out until they thawed. So these noodles are really long, as you can see. So what I'm gonna do is spread them out and just like cut them. I'm gonna cut them into thirds because we don't need our noodles to be this long in our dish. This actually makes a lot. This can feed a huge family, and I know we are not going to eat all this, so I'm gonna probably wind up freezing this. So we went ahead and we cut up our noodles, and now I already have a pot of boiling water in the back. I'm gonna throw these in the pot of boiling water for 6 minutes. Please set your timer for 6 minutes because you want these noodles to be al dente. You definitely don't want them to be too soft. So I'm gonna just pop these right into the hot boiling water. So these are the vegetables that I'm going to be using in my veggie lo mein, and these are the vegetables that I actually like to get while I'm at the Chinese store. If you don't have bean sprouts in your lo mein at the Chinese store, I don't even want it. Bean sprouts is just what makes the dish to me. I also like snow peas. Everybody doesn't put snow peas in their lo mein. And then the last thing I'm gonna put in is baby portobello mushrooms. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and cut these portobello mushrooms into smaller pieces because these are just a little too big. I want them to be like bite-sized. So you can use whatever type of vegetables that you like. I told you these are my 3 favorites. Some people, you could also add carrots, you can add onions, you can also add a meat if you want to do shrimp lo mein or chicken or beef. This will be your opportunity to add these items to your dish and get these all prepped and ready. So that's our timer for our noodles. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the noodles out. And as you can see, that was really quick. By the time I finished cutting up the mushrooms, the noodles were ready. These to overcook. now that we got the noodles strained, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my wok because we're just about finished with the prep, and then we're gonna go to our wok soon. So I'm gonna turn our wok on really high heat. Because it's a wok and it's made to withstand really high heats, it should not start smoking unless you have something in the pan. Leaving it on a high heat for a while isn't gonna hurt it. I'm gonna get started on working on the ginger, or prepping the ginger, and I'm just gonna take the skin off. You don't need too much of the ginger, and if you're using fresh garlic, you want to go ahead and chop that up now as well, but I'm going to use like pre-minced, pre-chopped garlic. So I'm gonna go ahead and mince this up really finely, because you don't want anybody to take a big piece or bite on a big piece of ginger, because it's not going to be pleasant. Ginger is very strong. I'm just gonna put the ginger in this little container. The last thing we're gonna do is make the sauce for the lo mein. So in this measuring cup, I have some mushroom flavored extra dark soy sauce. And then to that, we're gonna add some oyster sauce. And as always, the recipe will be in the description box. I'm gonna also add some regular soy sauce. I'm also add some sugar, some regular white sugar, because the soy sauce is a little bit bitter, so you want to add a little bit of sweetness to bring out those flavors. I'm going to also add some sesame oil. Love sesame oil. It really gives that like Chinese food flavor. And then some chicken broth. And the chicken broth is really just to dilute that extra dark soy sauce. And you're probably wondering, like, why are we using extra dark soy sauce and light soy sauce? So the extra dark soy sauce is more like a concentrated soy sauce. If you didn't want to use this, you would have to put almost probably like a half a cup to a cup of regular soy sauce. So the extra dark, just make sure that you concentrate the flavor with just like a tablespoon of it versus like a whole cup of soy sauce. So I'm just mixing all this up. I want to set this aside and put it next to our wok. So we are completely done with our prep. I'm gonna move all of these ingredients over to our wok so that it's easily accessible while we're cooking. And now we're finally gonna get started on making the lo mein and putting it all together. Our wok has been heating up for about 15 minutes now, so I know that this is extremely hot. I'm gonna go ahead and put in some vegetable oil. As you can see, it immediately starts smoking. Now I'm going to add in our garlic and our ginger. I'm going to start moving this around so that it doesn't burn. I'm going to go ahead and add in the mushrooms because they're going to take longest to cook. Just keep moving them around. I really just want to fry my vegetables. I don't want to cook them too much. I want them to keep their shape, and I don't want them to be slimy. So now that the mushrooms have cooked for a little bit, I'm going to add the snow peas and the bean sprouts. Now I'm ready to add in my lo mein noodles. Now we're ready to add our sauce. And that's that nice dark brown color that we want. Oh, y'all, it is so smoky in my house after making all this. So the lo mein is plated and I am just so ready to eat. I stole some chopsticks from Wegmans, and y'all know over there where like the hot food bar is, they got chopsticks. So I had to be extra and eat them with some chopsticks. Let me dig into this, and it is still so hot. Look how hot this is. Oh my gosh. All right, let me try this. All right, here we go, y'all. It tastes so authentic. Oh my gosh. You can't tell me this didn't come from a Chinese place. You cannot tell me this did not come from the Chinese restaurant. I'm telling you, it's so good. It's just the perfect amount of saltiness. That sugar makes it a little bit sweet, but not too much, just enough to balance out the soy sauce. And then the noodles are perfectly cooked and firm. I made this last week for the first time, and when I say we tore this up, we tore this up. It tastes just like the Chinese store, if not better, y'all. I'm telling you, this is a win at home because not only is it cheap, but it's very, very simple and easy to make if you're like in a hurry or in a rush and you're just trying to have like something quick on the table. So I highly recommend this recipe. All right, y'all, so that wraps up this episode of Cooking with Lon. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that this was a great start to your 2019. And if you really love this recipe, always make sure that you tag me on Instagram. Some people DM me their recipes, and some people will use the hashtag Cooking with Lon. So make sure that you show me, you know, if you added shrimp to it, if you added chicken to it, maybe beef, broccoli, different things. I just want to see how you spice up this dish and make it your own. So yeah, that wraps up another episode of Cooking with Lon. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Mrs. Lon, where you can always get like behind the scenes before I even start cooking for Cooking with Lon. So I will see you guys in my next video. Same time, same place, different recipe. Bye, guys.